All right, let's talk about the histology of the female reproductive system, and let's make it really easy. So over here we have the vagina, of course, and we see that it's lined by stratified squamous epithelium. We can take a closer look over here. It says stratified squamous epithelium. Now you may have noticed this sign over here in the vaginal lumen that says no carrots. No carrots reminds us of non-keratinized, as the vaginal lumen is lined by non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. This differentiates it from the exterior of the female reproductive system, like by the labia majora, where we do see some keratinized squamous epithelium. So this carrot over here is going to remind us of keratinized, that some components of the real exterior, like the labia majora, has some keratinized squamous epithelium. Now let's work our way up. So we go up towards the cervix. Now we have this column over here. Let's take a look. There is this column. Column is going to remind us of columnar epithelium. This column extends its way down towards the cervix. This column over here is going to remind us of columnar epithelium. So we see columnar epithelium both in the endometrium as well as in the endocervix. The ectocervix is actually made up of squamous epithelium, just like the vaginal lumen. But the endocervix, the inside part of the cervix, is columnar epithelium. We're going to see soon that the fallopian tube is also columnar epithelium, but I'm going to talk about that soon. Now, the reason why I'm making such a big deal about it is because you look over here, we see the stratified squamous epithelium of the vaginal lumen, as well as the ectocervix, that's the outside of the cervix, and we see the column of the endometrium and the endocervix. In between them is the transformation zone. So here we see the transformation zone between the endocervix and the ectocervix. The reason why this is important is because this is where we perform the pap smear. It's really important to get the cells over here because this is where our HPV tends to infect. So again, if you want to do a pap smear, do it at the transformation zone, at the area where it transitions from the squamous epithelium to the columnar epithelium. All right, so we said the endometrium is columnar epithelium. Now, before I get to the fallopian tube, I just want to look over here at the ovaries, where we see this simple cuboidal ovaries. Of course, the ovaries are not cubes. The ovaries are kind of like spheres, I guess. But over here, I made them in cubes to remind us of the simple cuboidal epithelium, that the ovaries are made up of simple cuboidal epithelium. Now, I didn't discuss the fallopian tube. I'm going to talk about it right now. The fallopian tube is also columnar epithelium. So you know what? I'm actually going to extend this column over here into the fallopian tubes. So here we have the columns in the fallopian tubes. Now, the reason why the fallopian tubes are different is because the fallopian tubes also have cilia. So it's columnar cells with cilia. And the reason why this is important is because we need the cilia to help the egg move along the fallopian tube. That's why in patients, for example, with Cartaginer syndrome, where we see a problem with the cilia, they could get an ectopic pregnancy. So again, just to review, we have keratinized epithelium on the labia majora, as well as non-keratinized stratified squamous in the vaginal lumen. Then we get to the transition zone, where the ectocervix is formed again of stratified squamous epithelium, and the endocervix of columnar epithelium. The columnar epithelium it continues in the endometrium, as well as in the fallopian tube, where it has cilia as well. And then we get to the simple cubes, the cubes of the ovaries. That is, the ovaries are made of simple cuboidal epithelium. All right, I hope you enjoyed this scene. Take care.